life was kind of similar to mine. I grew up as a fat kid, and you did too, right?
Yeah. I was fat for like the majority of my like adolescent years.
What is adolescent to you?
Like,
because I mean you're like 18, so
yeah, so
what
like
is adolescent?
from like 11 I'd say to like 16, 17, I was pretty overweight.
You weren't as a child though.
No.
So what happened?
So I think it was mostly like my parents splitting really affected me. I used to eat my feelings a lot, and it was boredom eating. It was like
you weren't out banging the whole neighborhood instead?
No.
So you ate instead?
Yes.
It's probably better, safer.
Listen, I'd rather have a fat daughter than
have a whore daughter. Because that happens. You know what I mean? Like the father's out of the house, and all of a sudden, like, she's looking for a father figure, so she's banging everyone.
Oh, yeah. Not at that
Interesting enough, like, all you girls don't have a father at the gym.
Really?
That's why I think part of, like, why, you know, they act the way they do to me, and then not having Giacomo live here is why I treat them like kids.
Right.
It used to make Maddie insane because I would call her a kid.
Right.
Or girl, or it made her nuts.
Right.
And she's like, I'm 17. I'm like, but you're a kid to me.
Right.
And I look at you that way. You know, I'm not looking at you like, you guys are all cute, but I'm not looking at you like that. It's weird. I look at you like kids. Like, you're all kind of my children.
Yeah.
And it's probably because I miss my son. You know what I mean? It's interesting that none of the women at the gym have fathers.
I didn't know that. I really only knew, like, Matt's story. I know he looks at you like a father figure.
Yeah.
So he tells me a lot. Like, he looks up to you, and you mean a lot to him.
Well, that's good. I want him to, like, I tell stories, and I hope people understand that my stories are, like, don't do this.
Right.
Because it was a different day and age. Like, you can't do the shit that I did and survive, not go to prison, not catch an STD, not get someone, you know what I mean? Like, that shit does not happen. I've said this a million times. New York State has the highest case of herpes than any other fucking state in our 50 states. So that's scary and alone. Now, maybe it's because of, you know, old people. You know what I mean? It's a high case in a lot of older folks' homes in New York State. But regardless, anyways, back to you. So your dad leaves. Now, why did he leave?
I think he just got involved with drugs. He would go on binges and just go missing.
Did he own a pizza shop?
Yeah, he owned two.
I had pizza shop. Drugs are hand in hand.
As soon as he opened his second restaurant, bad on coke.
Well, it's because he had to juggle two things.
Yeah.
I don't think rational people understand that. So, like, it's hard enough with one. Him doing two, I'm willing to bet he wasn't doing it to try to, like, have fun. No. He was trying to do it to keep your mother happy and be a good father and keep both businesses going. So he's like, how the fuck do I do this without no energy? You know what I mean?
Right. I look at it from his perspective, too. Like, his father is a business owner. He owns a landscaping business that did very well for himself.
Landscaping is so different than a fucking pizza shop. That's just madness.
He could have
I would never do it again.
He could have had that business. His father handed it to him. He said, no, I want to start on my own. I want to make something of myself. So he chose
pizza shop?
Yes.
I did, too. I was a retard.
He got
I'm lucky I survived.
Yes, right.
I got into drugs and everything. I'm lucky I survived.
Like, if my dad handed me that landscaping business, I would have just took that easy way out, right? And then you get to do whatever the hell you want to do.
But was there, like, something attached to that?
He had a younger brother, I think.
Was there some type of, like, you have to act a certain way, you have to be a certain way? He couldn't have his own self.
I don't know. I don't know a ton about his parents. I know that they were strict on him, and he was in and out of, like, jail a lot when they were younger.
Jail for what?
My dad for, like, misdemeanors and...
You know what I mean? Like what? Like selling drugs?
He just, no,
you know, home invasion?
He always told me, like, disorderly conduct.
Just stupid shit, drinking, doing dumb things. Stuff that, like...
Wrecking his cars. They got him a bunch of cars. He wrecked them.
Okay.
Stuff like that.
That's their fault.
Yeah.
You don't give a kid, you know, a $50,000 car.
Yeah.
A sports car and think he's not going to drive it like a sports car. He's gonna. I had a friend growing up like that. This kid, Jeff, like, they gave him Camaro when he turned 16. DWIs, speeding tickets. Like, yeah, you give a kid a brand new Camaro, what do you think's going to happen?
Yeah. A lot of kids around here, too. They drive, like, the Chargers and brand new Porsches. For what? It's your fun.
What happens to them? Most of them do drugs, or most of them have problems.
I know.
They're never going to... I don't know, it's really interesting. So you got fat because you ate everything.
Yeah, I got
ate your feelings away. Like, how made fun of?
Like...
What was the first thing that really impacted you? Okay, what made you think, like, I have to stop being fat?
Probably my brother, honestly. My brother was really hard on me growing up because he didn't want me to be like his fat little sister. Like, he wanted me, I don't know, maybe he wanted better for me. It was also tough love. He was like, listen, no guy's ever gonna want to date you, like, if you look like that. And I was like, I was like, oh my god, like, that's kind of rude. But that really, like, impacted me.
True. I mean,
Yeah.
people are too concerned about their feelings. That's why the whole fucking country's falling apart.
I know.
We need the truth. People need to hear the truth.
So he told me that, and I was young. I was like 14, 13, so middle school. And I did get made fun of by
that
guys.
age is.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that's the age where.
God.
How big were you? I'm curious. Like, how much weight?
Well, I was shorter, so I was probably like 4'11", and I was like 168 pounds, 170 pounds.
That's a lot for that age.
Yeah, and I was 14, so I mean, I was big, and I stayed that weight until I was 16. I started running. Yeah, I was fat.
That's Kevin's thing too. You know that? So Kevin was fat. Kevin started running, lost a ton of weight, but got weak.
Yeah, me too.
Now he's lifting to get strong. It like you like want to exercise him. It fucks with him, so he had to stop. He stopped running, and it fucked with him for a couple months, and now he's getting stronger. And now, like, over the summer, I'm gonna write him a diet because I write diets too. So it's like he's gonna do like a diet and just common sense.
Right.
Lose a little bit of weight every month type of thing.
It messes with me right now too. Like, I still run and I still go to the gym early in the morning. So I'm like, if I stop that, I just have this like paranoia, like I'm gonna go back to that weight. Even though I am weightlifting, it's just in my head. Like, seeing the scale goes up. Like,
but it's going to go up if you're gaining muscle. You have to accept that. Like, Seta was a maniac body. She was 120 pounds when I met her. She was fucking tiny as fuck. And it was crushing her, like all the, you know what I mean? And then it took her a while because she gained muscle, but she still didn't have stability or strength, you know what I mean? So gaining muscle is easier than getting stronger at a point. So it fucked with her a lot. Like, I think in her head, like, she was like, I'm getting fat. I'm getting, I'm bigger and I'm not getting stronger. But then once she figured it all out and the strength just started coming, then it was like, it's like, oh, okay, I gained 30 pounds, but I'm, twice as strong as I was. I have so much more muscle. Her back is fucking huge. Like,
I know.
So you're gonna gain.
Like, especially as girls, though, I think it's harder for us to put on muscle and, like, gain mass in general, gain size, because especially, like, from our mothers and older generations, like, they look down on that a lot.
Yeah.
Even talking about powerlifting with my mom, she's like, oh, like, you're gonna get bulky, you're gonna get big.
There's no way to do it without drugs. It's impossible. It is. I never met a single woman that doesn't take something. I mean, said it takes menstrual, like or Anavar, like, I think that's small. Like, it doesn't affect women's hormones in terms of like male characteristics, but it helps you recover. But you're not going to recover that well without. You know what I'm saying? So like, she is bigger in the last 2 years because of that. You ain't gonna just put on all that muscle in 2 years.
Even after that mass squat yesterday, like, I couldn't move. I was immobile when I woke up. Like, my neck.
It's weird how people. That's why I say you think you can go up heavier, but it's like your body's not used to that compression.
Yeah,
like, you don't want to. Like, Benny wanted to go up and then he got pummeled. Like, it's like your body's learning how to hold that weight. Your spine has to compress and fracture, and then grow back thicker and stronger. You can't do that in a week. You can't do that in 2 weeks. You can't do that in a month.
I didn't understand that. We did the max bench on Saturday, then we did on Sunday. I tried to attempt 105. I couldn't even get 105 up. Like, that was humiliating for me.
That's your central nervous system. You've never squatted that much, right?
No.
So your central nervous system is crushed. I mean, Seta didn't even hit nothing she was supposed to hit. You know what I mean? Bill did good. Bill is, but I'm cutting him from there's little things he's not doing. You know what I mean? And he ate an enormous amount. He over fucking fed himself like a maniac. But he probably he would have had a better bench, even though it was a PR, he probably had it better if he didn't squat heavy the day before.
Right.
But in a meet, you have to squat before you do anything.
Okay.
That's why I put the squat on Saturday and bench on, and then a couple days later, the deadlift, because, and I don't make it heavy every week. So technically you did a double. So it wasn't what you could have maxed out for a bench, right? So it's not, you weren't, I would never max everyone the same. It doesn't make sense. It's just too much on your central nervous system that you won't recover. So Tuesday you wouldn't be able to deadlift. You'd be fucked. Yeah. So I'm trying to like push and then back off at the same time. And I'm using the same program I use for Giacomo. You guys are doing the same shit. If he could recover when he was 8, you guys can. You just have to, be careful what you do. You gotta make sure you're eating, gotta make sure you're recovering. Oh, these waters are for you, by the way, in case you're thirsty. Stole them from BJ's. No, I'm kidding. But yes, anyway, so you went. So your brother was me. It was I was at this pool. I think I was like 12, because I think I was end of 5th grade or 6th grade, one of the two.
Okay.
And it's a 16-year-old girl, and we all went. It was called Dewar Park. It was a pool, and we all went there. And we kind of like hung out in that section because she was cute and she had breasts, and we were like young boys, right? And I was a fat kid, so I remember trying to like suck my stomach in when I was getting out of the water, and she said something. She was like, "Hey, fat boy, suck your stomach in a little more," and I was fucking. All my friends laughed.
Oh my god,
and I was like, fuck, I wanted to cry so bad, but I kind of like went and I sat on my bike and I just waited for them to get done swimming, and we all rode. So it was like 15, 20 minutes from the house on a bike. Okay. So we went home, and my dad came. I did cry to him, and I was like, like upset about being fat, and so he got me like it was like a sand weight thing, and I never really lifted. I didn't understand how to lift. It didn't make any sense to me, so I started doing. I bought a lot of. Or Jeet Kune Do, it's like martial arts, and I was starting to do that, train myself, and from there, I kind of would do punches and kicks to the weights. I really didn't, you know what I mean? But it was like a first weight set, and I did a lot of running, kind of like you. I did an enormous amount of running. I didn't actually start lifting, and I never wanted to stop running because I didn't the same way. That's why I understand.
Yeah,
that whole theory. You know what I mean? And it's like it feels good. And you're like afraid to get fat again. Yeah. But then what I've seen when I started powerlifting, when I was like 21, I started lifting. So I started late. And because I didn't want to be slow. Because I did a lot of martial arts and I boxed. So I didn't want to be slow. So I figured it would make me slower. And then I started lifting and I didn't get slower. I just got bigger and I got faster. It didn't make sense. But to me, you know what I'm saying? Right. That my muscles got stronger and I became more explosive. And the only difference between me being 350 pounds and this weight is just my diet. I don't change anything else. I don't run.
Right.
I just change how much I eat. So it's try to say that to people. It's like, I don't care how much running you do. If you eat more calories, it's not going to fucking matter, right? So it's easier to control what you eat. And then in the long term, you're going to learn like which foods work better for your body for strength.
Right.
And you look for like, because I'll tell you, like, when I was super big, I was over 350, and then I dieted. And first time I really, I was, fucking around with everything, carbs and different types of things. And once I got really lean, I looked flat most of the week, during the week. And so I had my pizza shop. And then I would drink margaritas, which are full of sugar on Friday night, and would get hammered. And Saturday, I was, you would blow up. Shredded. Yeah, it was my muscles, you know what I'm saying? Muscles were
the salt too.
Yeah, the sodium and all the sugar, pushed everything out. So I looked fucking, people were like, oh my God, you're doing a Bible show? And I'm like, no, I just drank a fucking 1,000 margaritas yesterday. My muscles were flat all week because how I was eating. So I think it's easier to eat and find out which way your body needs to work instead of just running and burning your calories.
Nutrition I'm pretty big on too. I used to be plant-based when I was running, which was my other...
Horrible.
bad
Have you ever went into a nature store?
Yes.
Those women attractive at all?
No.
Most of them are overweight, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, makes no sense, right? So that you have to look at that and be like, this ain't gonna fucking work.
I fell down the rabbit hole on TikTok of don't eat animals, it's bad for you, the poor cows.
Even though that's how we survived. And you could actually...
I felt terrible, I lost my period, I had so many problems.
Yeah.
So...
You need meat, you need the cholesterol for the meat. There's so much, the cholesterol in beef affects your insulin level. It affects every hormone in your body.
Right.
It's weird how people say you should lower your cholesterol.
You should lower your processed sugar intake.
That's what it is.
Yeah.
Because your cholesterol... No, it's not at all. Your cholesterol, if you have high sugar, the cholesterol gets affected. But it has nothing to fucking do with your cholesterol.
Right.
You need that as a hormone.
They're afraid of saturated fats and stuff.
They're stupid.
Yet they eat processed sugar alcohols. Yeah. And that's what's giving you that inflammation.
Yeah. And that's probably the worst thing.